Hello everyone, and welcome back to a very special episode of TSW5. Today we have some massive news. The HSP46 gameplay pack for the Boston Sprinter route has just dropped. And it is free, yes, free to everyone who owns MBTA commuter, otherwise known as the Framingham-Worcester line. I don't have Framingham-Worcester, so I paid my own hard-earned cash for the HSP46, but it's very cheap. Even if you don't have MBTA commuter, it's only around £5, $6 for the pack. So yeah, let's have a look at what we get. I think we get 3 scenarios. HSP, coupling up to Boston, delivery for Providence, and roadblocker. I think it's the scenarios that we get, yeah. I never really play scenarios, I just play timetable mode, really. So yeah, here's the original timetable. It has the ACS64, Acela, CTC3, and F40PH. The new timetable has the exact same number of services as the old one, but now you get the HSP46 in MBTA colors, the ACS64, the Acela Express, which is a separate DLC, by the way, if I hadn't made that clear, the CTC3, which is included with the route, the F40PH, and the Rotom CTC5 cab car, which goes with the HSP46. So yeah, we are running... I have to remember which service I'm running today. So yeah, these are the services that you get with the HSP46. As you probably notice, the guard mode is enabled, so we will be making a video on that, of course. Yeah, and it's a decent variety of service lengths as well. So it's service 813, it's Boston to Providence, 1341, and yeah, we'll do current weather, I'll do light clouds, and yeah, let's get started. And right, here we are at Boston South Station with the absolutely magnificent looking HSP46. Also, if you notice any weird visual anomalies today, that is because I am using lossless scaling, and I'm also using the third rails program to track my train. So yeah, bunch of HSP46, the odd F40 layered in there, and as you can see, the double-decker Rotom coaches, like form somewhat random formations with the single-deckers, which is prototypical, as I've heard, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting quite low frames because there's actually quite a few trains here, surprisingly. Yeah. It doesn't really... I still have a couple of complaints, though. Number one, the PIS screens are still the unrealistic British kind, and they still haven't fixed the track light baking issue. But other than that, this is a welcome update for this route. Like, I still think Boston Sprinter is my favorite of the American routes out there. I know, which is probably a bit of a controversial opinion, but hey, you're not me, so deal with it. So yeah, here we go. Here is the HSP46. Let's unlock the doors straight away. Let's get the cab light on just so we can see what we're doing. Right, so if I remember how to drive this thing, it seems pretty similar to most American diesels. Let's also get the safeties on. There we go. ATC, alert, and ACSES are engaged. Do you work? Change the contrast. Okay. Noise. So it's one of those trains where the bell doesn't turn on automatically if you hit the horn. Oh, that's such a good sounding horn. Wait a minute, I do need to check to see if the marker lights are on at this end with the CTC5, which they are. Lovely jubbly. Alright, and we should shut the doors and prepare to be off. Locking doors. Yes, there we go. Next up, Boston Back Bay in 5... Oh, I knew I'd forgotten something. Thanks for reminding me, game. Ground lights, step lights, marker lights, engine... generator field. Of course. Let's give her notch 3 out of the gate. Bell on. There's a Nacella coming in. Nice. Come on. This thing takes a little bit to get going. I love the horn on the HSP46. She sounds so good. Let's open the windows just so we can get maximum HSP. Let's get it back to notch 2. It's been a bit since I've driven the MBTA diesels. I usually only drive the Amtrak content on this route, if I'm being honest. Oh, hello. Oh, also I forgot to mention that we're heading down to Providence today. So our stops today are Boston Back Bay, Ruggles, Route 128, Sharon, Mansfield, Attleboro, South Attleboro, and Providence. Alright, bell off. Okay, so it looks as though all of my safety systems are reset via the Q key, I think. Okay. Boston Sprinter is such a good route. Like, I know a lot of people prefer MBTA commuter, but honestly, I prefer Boston Sprinter despite, like, its seemingly worse scenery, just because I think, like, you definitely get a lot more rolling stock variety when you add the ACS64 and the Acela Express into the mix. It's honestly, I'm honestly shocked that the HSP46 and bi-levels didn't layer onto Boston Sprinter from day one, but hey, sometimes those things just happen. Also, looks as though we've got a rake of mostly double-deckers today with one single-decker toward the far back. Also, one thing I don't know, have they updated the F40 PH sounds to match the ones that you get on MBTA commuter? Please let me know down in the comments, because I honestly probably will never drive the F40 PH for a long time now that I have access to the HSP. Oh, I forgot we have an independent brake with this thing. It looks as though we also had dynamic suspension up and running, which is nice. Alright, let's get notch 2 underway so we can get to Boston Back Bay. Alright, let's get... Yeah, coming out of Boston South is such a pain because you're either going 10 miles an hour or you're going 15, which is so slow. Okay, we can go up to 30. Let's give her notch 4 and give her some welly. Sorry about the loud sounding dove outside my window. Can't really do anything about it. Okay. So what's our next stop after Back Bay? Ruggles. Okay. Well, this thing is pretty dang silent. Is pretty quiet compared to the F40. Yeah, the F40 is a definite improvement on the HSP46 is a definite improvement on the HSP. Forgot to turn the instrument lights on. My bad. Get some locomotive brakes going. Yeah, we're coming in quite hot, I must say. But I am glad to say that the brakes, automatic brakes release quite quickly, which is very good. Very good indeed. And it seems as though we're arriving pretty early, which is good. Sorry if I'm sounding the horn too much, but I do like the horn on this thing. Full service. Alright. Release the automatic brake. And let's release the independent brake to around 50%. There we go. Right. Yeah, as stated previously, the passenger information screens are still not the correct variety, despite us having the correct MBTA ones in the game on MBTA computer. And, yeah, anyway. Let's turn the cab light off. I don't think we'll need it. Yeah, the CTC cars, I know they're recycled, but yeah, they look pretty dang decent. One thing I'm glad about this pack is I didn't have to get MBTA commuter. I don't think I was ever going to get MBTA commuter. So right, looks as though we're ready to go. Ooh. Next stop, Ruggles in 6,000 feet. Let's give her some juice. Let's do a full throttle start. See how she does. Okay, that's pretty rapid. Yeah, I think like notch 6 if you want to do like a full throttle start. Leaving Boston Back Bay on time. Yeah, ACSES is at 30. I don't think I've ever done the MBTA Boston to Providence run. I think I've always done it as the... I think I've always done only the Boston to Stoughton run, because that's the only branch off the whole route. That's the only non-electrified part of the route as well. Let's give us a welly. Come on, buddy. Hang on, I need to check my settings. Why is my game running at such a low frame rate? Odd. Anyway. Alright. 3,000 feet to Ruggles. My goodness. 45 miles an hour. Once you get to 2,000 feet, I'll cancel the throttle. I keep forgetting I have to do the bell. Oh, this thing can stop pretty quickly. I like that. I don't think I've stopped at Ruggles ever. Full service. I hate doing this in feet, I must say. Alright. Welcome to Ruggles, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I don't think Ruggles is a station that gets used that much. Yeah. Also, another thing which I don't like about the Boston Sprinter route, but is understandable that they didn't include it, is the Boston subway train should be running alongside alongside us for a bit, but they don't because, well, yeah. The ZTC5 is a pretty cool little cab car, I must say. NPCs doing NPC things. Oh, I left the automatic brake on. Cheers, game. Next stop is Route 128 in 9 miles. I do love the formations you get in this game. Like with the single decker and double decker cars mixed in. That's so odd, and that's why I love it so much. Alright, I think we've had enough of the good sounds of the loud engine sounds. Let's shut the windows. Right, we're going full juice down to Route 128. It's got a nice, the engine's got a nice chugging note to it. And I must say that the addition of dynamic suspension is very much needed. DMS, got like light dimmers. Yeah, very American cab, I must say. Like, if you know how to drive the MP36 or the EMDF125 off of the San Bernardino line, then you'll know how to drive this pretty much. Some of the buttons are in a different place, but hey, 70 miles an hour. Alright, I think we're clear up to 80 miles an hour along this stretch of track. Let's get the throttle put back a bit. I do love how I can sound the horn without putting the bell on. That's very nice. Yeah. This thing is very quiet when in cruise. I do love that. I do love that. Even if you don't have MBTA commuter, this gameplay pack is pretty good value for money. Like, I would recommend it. Passing the station of Forest Hills. Absolutely legging it down toward Providence. Not 3. There goes a MBTA line off to somewhere. I don't know where that goes. I was actually going to move. There are actually plans for me to move to Massachusetts, somewhere near Boston. So feels a bit weird driving in here in the simulator. Yeah, this thing is very quiet. On the outside, not so much, but on the inside, she's got some good soundproofing. This will probably be the American diesel that I drive the most. Because, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. 5 miles to Route 128 and chugging along nicely. I think I put the drone camera inside the wall. Haha. These FPS is improving as we head toward what's it called? So we head further south down the Providence line. I'm so sorry, Dad. I just like the horn so much that I can't help sounding the horn. Yeah, the brakes are also very quick to respond, which I do find nice, because I've driven a lot of retro German diesels in this game, and I know how much of a pain they can be with the, especially with brake release. So having a diesel with fast releasing brakes is a definite plus. See, does this subvisor work? It does work, but it entirely blocks your field of vision in 100% mode. Passing Hyde Park. This thing is so quiet. I honestly think I need to keep the windows open in order for us to have some engine sound so the video isn't too quiet. Which is not something you do every day. Goes the branch off to Reedville, which is one of the places which is one of the terminations places for many of the services. I do love the sounds on the HSP46. They definitely had access to the real one in order to record these, and I love that. Oh, hello. "9,000 feet to Route 128, so yeah, also you won't see any CSX stock in the yards today. That is because I do not have, nor do I ever intend to get, the sand patch grade route. Okay, so it doesn't appear that we have a dynamic brake, right? Goodness, why has my frame rate suddenly gotten so bad on Boston Sprinter? Thank goodness for lossless scaling. Otherwise, I'd definitely be in trouble here. Let's apply 50%. Oh, there's another CTC5, I think. There we go. I love seeing the HSP46 driving around as AI. So cool. Sorry about the dog barking. Get ready to turn on the bell. Okay. Okay, we do have a dynamic brake. It's just activated along with the automatic brake, and you can't just engage the dynamic brake normally. Right. Alright, we are arriving well on time, which I do like. I do like when we run on time. So yeah, this is I think this is the last termination station. I like how that rhymes. For the Amtrak services before they continue on to Providence. So yeah. Yeah, we definitely shot past the objective there, but there you go. Get the automatic brake off. Welcome to Route 128, ladies and gents. Don't know why my frame rate's so bad. Please let me know down in the comments if you know how to improve my frame rate. The Boston Sprinter is definitely a lot less framey than this. Maybe it's just a badly optimized timetable? That'd be typical of Dovetail games. It's just the HSP46, like the diesel, is causing the problems. Hey, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the thing. Coming out of here, I think I'll do a full throttle start, just because I think that'd be cool. Yeah, let's have a look inside the CTCs. Okay, these things look decently comfortable. Not gonna lie. Alright. 50 seconds till we need to go. I do like how the HSPs are so quiet. That's so cool, how quiet they are. I'll shut the doors with like 10 seconds to spare. Something like that. Oh, they've got a cab walkway at the back. Interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. Alrighty. Next stop, Sharon, in 6.2 miles. Give a notch 8, and away we go. Get away from the yellow line, lady. Oh yeah. We're definitely moving now. 30 miles an hour. Why does it still sound like I have the brakes on? I don't. Anyway. We're clear up to, back up to 80 miles an hour. Are we stopping at Kent Junction today? No, I don't think so. Miles to Sharon, passing under the I-95 interstate. Oh my gosh, there's a place called Purgatory Swamp off to my right. Oh dear. That's too funny. Coming up to Canton Junction, we won't be stopping, we'll just be zipping straight through. I do love the dynamic suspension. That's very nice. Realistic bounce to it. It's astounding how much trains bounce, if I'm being honest. there's Canton's Junction. There's the branch to Stoughton. Horn sounding, letting passengers know we are heading straight through without stopping. The Stoughton branch is the only branch off the entire route. It's quite short with only 2 stops, Canton Centre and Stoughton. Alright. You do have to maintain quite a few throttle notches to keep this thing up to speed. Miles to Sharon. Also, yeah, this Boston Sprinter scenery could be a tad better, but hey, if you don't look at it too closely, it's fine. 6,000 feet to go. Wonder if there are any other trains going to pass by. Let's have a look down as far as Sharon. We did see that Acela coming into Boston South, which is pretty cool. There aren't too many Acela services in the timetable, which I assume is realistic. It's like there was a bridge once here, but it's been disconnected at some point. Wonder what happened. 4,000 feet. Let's cut the throttle. I do like how we can run these trains at quite high speeds. It's also weird to be running these MBTA diesels under overhead wires. That is very odd. They give her some automatic brakes. My goodness. I think I gotta give her full automatic brakes. Yeah, I think we're coming in a bit quick. Whoops-a-daisy. I think we might make it in time now. There we go. Yeah, we're definitely making it in time. Good job, HSP. Yeah. I will take that. That's so good how we can slow down so quickly. Full service. 13 feet to spare. Get the automatic brake off. Yeah, welcome to Sharon. It's so cool how we can have both the both the single deckers and double deckers together. I know I've said that before, but I'll say it again. Let's see, are there services coming up from the south anytime soon? Doesn't look like it, surprisingly. Seem to... Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, there's not a service for a bit, that's for sure. There's one other person on third rails driving an MBTA train at the moment, which I'm not too surprised about considering this pack just came out. Like, a lot of people want to dive straight in and try it, like yours truly. Get the doors shut. Let's get ready to be on our way. Let's give her a throttle start, as this thing does take a bit to get moving. Next stop, Mansfield in 6.6 miles, and then after that our stops are Attleboro, South Attleboro and Providence. Haven't had any ACSES pings yet, which is nice. I did a service from Reedville up to Boston a few days ago, and yeah, with the CTC3 cab car before this pack was released, of course, and I just got stuck behind another MBTA service, and ATC was being extremely harsh all the way there. So it's nice not to have to worry about ATC for a bit. Goes an alerter ping. This phone panel doesn't really appear to work. What about you? Okay. Appears to work somewhat. About as much as I would expect for a screen in a Train Sim World engine. It's a bit of a pity how we're limited to 80 miles an hour despite having an in-cab signal. Because, like, US federal law dictates that you have to have in-cab signaling if you're going above 80 miles an hour, and yet we're being limited to 80 miles an hour despite having in-cab signaling, so that's very odd indeed. Yeah, like, we could be doing 125 right now in the Acela, and we're limited to 80, so... hey-ho. It's just the way it is, I suppose. Yeah, we're going down as far as Mansfield, and there's no other trains. Ooh, there is one train parked further down the line, but I was unable to see what it was before I had to cancel the alerter. The alerter does give you a decent amount of time before it puts the emergency brakes on, which is nice. We're actually going quite a decent speed, notwithstanding my previous remarks. 80 miles an hour is still pretty decent velocity. 2.5 miles to Mansfield. And I should start braking around 4,000 feet rather than 2,000. I was a bit touch and go back there at Sharon. Anyway, I'm glad. Another reason I'm glad we're getting this pack is because we just need more US content in this game, especially content that's outside New York and California, because yeah, like, we get far too much content centered in those two areas, and to have some US content that isn't in those two areas is a rare exception, and I welcome it. 1,000 feet to Mansfield. Cut the throttle. Feet, excuse me. A branch coming off from our left, which seems to be some kind of freight-only branch. Yeah, minimum application. Let's get 50% going. 50% is decent enough. Here comes the dynamic brake. Wonder where that line goes out of Mansfield. Coming into Mansfield 2 minutes early. Now that's what I call efficiency. Alright, welcome to Mansfield, everybody. Alright, so what was that train that I saw earlier? We have time to check now without having to burst on the alert. Okay, so it is the... I'm guessing it's a Providence to Boston service. Yeah, number 822 Providence to Boston. Doesn't appear there are any other trains until we get to Providence. Right. Wow, we have got a decent amount of time here, so we might as well get up out of our seat and go and have a tad of a look round. Whoa, why is I going down the stairs so slowly? So yeah, here we are. Might as well get some collectibles while we're here, i.e. route maps. Get you. Let's go inside the CTC5 cars. Yeah, these look pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'll probably have quite a... Since there is God mode included with this DLC, I imagine we'd have quite a bit of a opportunity to look around. Can I just go to the parking lot? Oh, my invisible wall remover mod seems to be working. Nice. Let's have a look inside the CTC3 cars. Yeah, definitely older. You can definitely tell that. You can definitely tell that those are older. Yeah. So let's start walking back toward our train, the HSP46. So yeah, how many stops have we got after this? So, Mansfield, Attleborough, South Attleborough, and Providence. So, don't think we stopped at Hyde Park. We didn't stop at Reedville, and we didn't stop at Canton Junction, but we are stopping everywhere else. Right. Okay. Yeah, we gotta leave it 8 seconds. Move. Come on, buddy. Let's get in. Right. Righty tighty. Locking right doors. Yeah, we are leaving slightly late, but there you go. Next stop's Attleborough in 7.2 miles. Let's give the HSP some juice. Turn the bell on. Let's get out of here. Let's give her some beans. Yeah, the power definitely kicks in around 10 miles an hour. I don't think using notch 8 would be recommended because you basically redline the locomotive, but I still like it because I find it fun. 54 miles an hour. Oh my goodness, that guy just took that corner flat out. Holy, did you see that? That driver was lunatic. Oh, hello, there's the Providence to Boston, headed up by a CTC5 car, and it's all double-deckers with an HSP46 at the other end. Interesting. I wonder what the odds are of it being all one kind of coach. I wonder what the point is when we pass into what's the word I'm thinking of? Rhode Island, because we are going to cross the border into Rhode Island at some point. I wonder how close it is to Providence that we cross the border into Rhode Island. A little freight only branch there. Seems that it's partially muddled. Five and a half miles to Attleboro. So yeah, let's have a look. So yeah, we're actually going to cross the border into Rhode Island around just after South Attleboro. Okay. And we'll actually be paralleling the state border for a bit. Which is quite interesting. I do love the HSP46 already, and I've barely driven an absolutely brilliant locomotive. I don't drive the American stuff too much in this game, but I think the HSP46 has to be up there. Okay, hello. ACSES or ATC, one of the two, just went off. I don't know what that means. Does that mean speed limit is increasing? Reducing? Yeah, I think this is actually the bit of Boston Sprinter where you can get the Acela up to 150 if you've got the will to. Because the Acela doing 150 is actually on a line that it shares with on a line it shares with normal mainline trains is actually quite terrifying. So we've got flashing green. Okay. ATC has now come back to 80 miles an hour, but we were going to have to go back to 80 miles an hour anyway, so fair play. Zooming toward Attleboro, 2 miles to go, speed limit coming down to 80 miles an hour, so I'm guessing we're going to be turning soon. We're coming toward the end of the section where the high speed stuff is high speed. 9,000 feet to go, and we should be there within a few minutes. Got yellow signals, so speed might be ATC might be reducing our speed in a minute. 2,800 feet until we start cramming on the brakes. Oh, hello. We seem to be coming off into a branch line. Overspeed? Oh yeah, very overspeed. Seem to have been pushed back to 45 for some reason. Don't know why. Shush, I'm doing fine. No, don't give me a penalty break. I was doing fine until you came along. Ugh. I wonder if there's anyone behind me, like a high-speed service that wants to overtake. Probably not, there aren't too many high-speed services. Going into Attleboro. Goodness, my FPS is having trouble. Thousand feet to go. Ooh, pretty good stop. I will take that. Right. Loading up the passengers. Actually, I think I need to check to see why my frames are so low. I will be back interfrastically. Alright, so I am back. I couldn't find a reason why my game was running so slowly, but now it seems to be running a bit better. But and we're off. Next stop, South Attleboro in 5 miles. Alright, it looks as though we'll be shunted back onto the main line at 45 miles an hour. Shut the throttle down. Four miles to go. To 444 for now. Let's give it some juice. farther till we make the turn off the long straight. Okay, not too far actually. So yeah, the Rhode Island border goes like that. The Attleborough Quarry on our right. Treason World. Beginning of the turn. Seems to be doing better than it was, but not that much better. $9,000 to go. Alright. Approaching the border, but not going to cross it yet, just yet. 6,700 feet until braking. So yeah, the border is now just over that little hillock to our left. Go. Putting on the brakes. Passing under Cottage Street. We're still in Massachusetts, but not for much longer. Like, the border is literally like a block over to our left. I had no idea the line actually paralleled the border for such a long time. South Attleborough. Ooh, I like the pedestrian bridge design at this station. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, we're arriving with plenty of time. And then after this, the last stop is Providence. There we go. We're here for the next couple of minutes, so we might as well go have a tad of a look around. I think that fire extinguisher is a collectible. Yeah, it is. That's the first one I've placed. Of course it is. Route map. There's the CTC5. Go back and get back in the unit. Can't wait to try out guard mode with these. I know guard mode is a pretty, like, not very good feature, but I still enjoy doing conductor mode from time to time. I think my favorite guard mode run is the Pacer on Blackpool branches, doing Blackpool North to Preston or vice versa. Yeah, not too much further to Providence, I think. Anyway. Let's see if I don't hit the rev limiter if I do a notch 7 start. Dang it. There we go. Go via location in 4.7 miles and then Providence in 10 minutes. I still think my favorite run on this route is Boston south to Stoughton. Alright, it looks as though speed limit is coming down in a minute, so let's give her a notch 8, see if we can't get her up to 80 miles an hour. There isn't a lot of traffic on the Northeast Corridor. The occasional Northeast Regional, the occasional Acela, the sparing MBTA HSP46 or F40 with single or double decker cars, but overall, considering this is one of the busiest rail lines in America, it's not that, oh, okay. Give her minimum application. Go 60 miles an hour. Thank you. I seem to remember there was a terrain glitch. Yeah, there it is. The Boston Sprinter terrain glitch, that is. Oh my goodness, that thing looks terrible. Right. Oh, and I forgot to mention we are now in the lovely state of Rhode Island, the smallest state in the Union, and yeah, it is a small state, and it's got a very small population to boot. 3.2 miles to the go via. Back up to 70 in a minute. Oh, okay, we're back up to 70. No, then we're back down to 60, so I'm going to do that. Yeah. This is the only route which makes me even vaguely consider getting sand patch grade because of the then we get static stock in the yards, but there we go. And then we're back up to 70 again. Just passed through Pawtucket Central Falls Station. We're paralleling the I-95 interstate here. Absolutely streaking past all the plebs in their cars. This is why traveling by train is better. Passing junction 39 on the I-95. Alright, looks as though the speed limit will be coming down in a minute, so I'll give her full independent brake. Oh my goodness, yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, this... Yeah, overspeed. Yeah, it wants us to go down to 45. Okay. No, not a pedal to brake. Not a pedal to brake, you cheeky beggar. Not a pedal to brake. No, 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 you don't, you sneaky beggar. I do admit, I do prefer trains with only alerters that over ones with cab signaling. But hey, sometimes it is what it is. Here's the go via. 6,000 feet to Providence Track 3. Alright, it looks as though we will be going down to 30 miles an hour in a minute. So we have a 25 and a... Slow down, buddy. Shh, it's alright, it's alright. My goodness, my frame rate's dropping. Oh, hello. Is that a Northeast Regional I see? Yes, it is. In the normal livery. Can't remember what Amtrak phase liveries are, so I apologize. So, where's he coming from? He is coming from... Oh, it doesn't say. Nah, well. Nice to see. Coming into Providence. At 20, I'm coming in at 11. Providence seems like a bit of an odd place to cut the route coverage since MBTA services actually go beyond it to New Haven, Connecticut. So I think it's New Haven, Connecticut. I think. Please let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Probably am wrong. I think it's somewhere else, not... Oh, I have a penalty brake for some reason. It's not letting me... Oh, I have to put the automatic into suppression. Hang on. I'll just reset that. Suppression. And now that... Hopefully that should reset it. Oh, well. It's the end of the run anyway. Doesn't matter. Alright. And there we go. Platinum medal. Lots of points. And yeah, so that'll be it for this video, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.